she, her, and this is my first ever YouTube video. I'm gonna try very hard not to say but yeah, I just that it is gonna happen, it's inevitable. I thought that to begin with I would do a sort of show and tell, a chat or have a chat about all the journals I'm using or hoping to get back into for the rest of the year. I really love watching these videos. These are my favourite types of videos to watch on YouTube, so I thought it might be fun to start by doing one of those. I'll go with this one on top to begin with. This is a B6 Stalogy that I have been using on and off for the past year. I began it in May of 2023. And I dip in and out of my journals a lot. I don't stick to one if I don't feel like it, but I do try and not leave them languishing for too long. And I'm starting to feel with this one that I'm trying to finish it now. I am coming to the end, and I feel like archiving it before, well, ideally I'd like to archive it before the start of September, so the kind of autumn period has a new start, fresh start. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but yeah, it's coming to kind of a natural end, so I think I'll be in here until I finish this up. And I've got about 80 pages left to go. I have pre-decorated it. I don't always pre-decorate, but I'm in a real decorating mood at the moment. Sometimes I like to put podcast on or show, and just it's something to do with your hands, pre-decorating. I use this journal for morning and evening pages. Morning pages, I pretty much follow as far as I can what Julia Cameron talks about in her book The Artist Way. So I write 3 pages of stream of consciousness writing every morning, and then I write a page of affirmations, which I found it a little bit cringy to start with, but the more I've done it, the more useful I found the practice to be. I like, now at the beginning of every new year, I set 10 affirmations for myself, and over the year I add to them, so I have 18 at the moment that I'm writing, and it's kind of nice to see what you want to add to as the year goes along. It gives a sort of picture of your aspirations, maybe a bit, sometimes your fears and anxieties for me. So yeah, and then evening pages, I just call them evening pages because it goes with morning pages, but every evening I write 2 pages. Really, the focus is to list what I'm grateful for on that day. And then if I do have something I'm worried about the next day, or a particularly busy day, you know, I might write down some things I need to do or some things I want to be mindful of the next day. Or, you know, sometimes I just write things that are on my mind and that I'm annoyed about. I write a lot. I love to journal. I love to write. It's a really helpful way for me to process my emotions and think about things. So yeah, that's journal number 1. I guess I'll go with these on the side first. I'm not much of a planner. What I do is in these weekses. I work from home. I have a freelance job, so obviously my clients are in here, so I just show a blank page. But I just write appointments on the side, and then on this side I keep track of the amount of hours that I've worked, client notes, payments that are owed, that kind of thing. I'm still using last year's back pages. I do logs, to-do lists, things of that kind in these. I'm thinking that maybe next year I won't get a week's, and instead I'll use the back pages of this one, and I can just draw a week in, at least until the spring start, and if I really miss it I can get it in the spring start. That being said, I saw a cover that I really liked in the Hobonichi release, so I'm gonna try very hard to be strong, and I'm gonna tell myself that cover will also be available for spring start, but we'll see. So yeah, they're pretty boring, I guess. Those are my weeks. I also have a Hobonichi 5-year journal. I got this it sounds strange to say, I was in my 30th year when this journal began, and I will be 35 when it ends. And I really like the idea of that. I really like the idea of keeping one every 5 years. Also, this year we used to live in America, and this year was the year that we moved back to England, so I feel like this journal really does encompass a transitional period in my life, moving from 20s to 30s, and then also moving from country to country, kind of a change of life. And it has so many good memories. The best one is my sister got engaged and married while I was keeping this journal, which is that's so lovely. And we got a car. We got our cat when I was keeping this journal. So many nice things in here. And when I keep this, I am very... Oh, this is the day my sister got married, the order of the day. I am very careful when I keep this to... I didn't fill out this spread yet. But I'm careful when I keep this to think about sort of children and nieces and nephews. I am the kind of person who would have loved to have something like this for my parents or grandparents. And if my sister and I have children one day, maybe they would like to see this. I mean, my sister's children, maybe they'd like to see, you know, her and her husband getting engaged, getting married, that kind of thing. I think I will keep up this practice, but I will buy the A6 next time because there's so much on the side that I'm not sure that I'm ever going to be able to fill it all out, in all honesty. I do like to keep track of things like the music I was listening to that month. I write down highlights from that month, books that I read that month. I do all of that. If you have a 5-year journal and you've kept it for a long time, I don't know if you feel the same way I do, but one of the feelings that I have is sometimes I love this journal and I pour so much time and effort into it and being really meticulous about keeping it, and other times I loathe it and it feels like such a chore and such a job and I really have to push through. I'm kind of in a loathing stage at the moment, I'm not gonna lie, but I know I'll come back around to loving it, and well, I hope I will. And I'm sort of almost 3 years deep, so I feel like I have to persist with this. I don't feel like I want to give up with the project. I feel like I want to see it through. So that's my 5-year journal. And then these last 3 I would consider to really be the core of my system. I'll do my A5 first. So, I used to live in America and I would get a lot of chic sparrows when I was living there. I love chic sparrows. I love all those leather shops that you get in the States, like Speckled Fawns and Sojourner. But it's very expensive to order them to England, and so now maybe I will get a chic sparrow on my birthday or for Christmas from my husband, really. But I'm really lucky in that I do have quite a nice collection that I'm pretty satisfied with, and this is one of my oldest, most beloved ones, and I didn't even choose this. They used to have a thing where I don't know if they still have it, I haven't been on their website in a really long time, but you could sort of pick the size and they would send you a kind of surprise leather at a discount, almost like a second chance kind of thing. And I got this one in that, and I don't think I would have picked this for myself at the time. This is the chai leather and it patinas really beautifully, but at the time I think I would have thought there was something wrong with it. I didn't know a lot about leather. Now I really like this patina, and I really enjoy it, so it's a lucky accident. This is a kind of notebook that I've grown into. I keep 2 notebooks in here. The first I'm not really using too much at the moment. I kind of use it on and off. It's a PaperTessDesigns yearly notebook. These are from Courtney Diaz, her printables LittleRavenInk. Oh, this is a Rhiannon sticker and a MarigonaSuliArt sticker. Those 3, you're going to see a lot of them, and I'm going to try very hard to point them out. I especially Courtney, the others too, but especially Courtney, She's such an inspiration to me. I use her principles all the time. I love her videos. I love her journaling system. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of her printables hanging around. And I think everybody knows Megan Rhiannon. I have some of her little ghosts, which I adore. Love her videos, absolutely. And MarigonaSuliArt, she does beautiful stickers. I see her around, so I'll see, this is a really small one. I'll see if I can find like a big one somewhere in my journal. Maybe, here's one that from her that's really beautiful. This is actually a washi tape from her store too. And this is a Randy Lynn Reed printable from when I was a member of her Patreon. So I think I said it's a PaperTessDesigns notebook. This is a undated notebook, which I really like, and all the pages, it's paginated the whole way through, which I also really like. So I have kind of an index. I'm not very good at keeping up with indexes, but I would like to be. I would like to be that person. Here I track my mood, especially if I've been panicky. I have OCD, not the nice kind, well, not the kind that makes you want to organise your cupboard, right? The kind that I have a lot of intrusive thoughts, and so it's useful to me to kind of track where my mind's at for that. And then in these, I track different things. If I did morning and evening pages, walking, meditation. And then for some reason I started the months backwards. So there are months, and you could go you could start at the front and move backwards, but move forwards. But I started at the back and moved backwards. I don't really know why I did that. This is from Courtney Diaz. So are these two. Some August intentions. Oh, that's like meetings that I had in August. This is me journaling about my journals, which that's common. This is a mood board of the kind of journaler I would like to be. I feel this need, this compulsion almost, speaking of OCD, to always be so meticulous and neat in my journals, but actually, oh, am I out of frame? I'm so sorry. When I look at journals and things that inspire me, I feel so much of the time what I'm drawn to is this kind of very lived in, using your notebooks to really express yourself on the page kind of look. So about July reflections, my July, some personal goals. Again, these are mostly from Courtney Diaz printables. This is more prosaic. This is a no spend that I was doing that I did okay on. And yes, so you see you can date them and fill out the weeks, which I do sometimes, and sometimes I journal in here. The other book that I have in here is my Hobonichi Hon. I quite like this Hon, and I saw one, I don't remember the artist, but it's got like a little bear on the front. I think that I will go with that next year. I have a Hobonichi every year, pretty much. I don't really see myself ever going without them. This is a postcard from MarigonaSuliArt from her shop. I don't do anything on these pages. In these pages, sometimes I write down little goals and highlights of the month, but mostly I write down what ink I used on that day. Otherwise, sometimes I look back and I don't remember what the ink is, and it annoys me. So this is what I used this sort of index and page for. In these pages, I write down a highlight of the day. Sometimes it's a big highlight. Sometimes it's a little one, like I watched this show, I played this game, today was very hot. So yeah, it doesn't have to be anything groundbreaking. But that's what I use the monthlies for. And then the weeklies, here's a weekly. I just sort of write down what I did that day. It's not really time tracking in the planning sense. And the left I try and write down things that I'm grateful for that week. Obviously I wasn't doing a great job. This is another Courtney Diaz sticker. Oh well, it's not a sticker, it's a printable, but I stuck it in. This is when last year she did little animals for her calendars, and I love these animals. I just, oh, they're so beautiful. This little frog, she did a mole and a fox. The mole is, yeah, I'll show you. He's in many journals. It's this week, so I pre-decorate it and then I fill it out as I go along. I'm a bit private about my Hobonichi, my journals in general, but I try to mark pages that I don't mind sharing too much. So on these spreads, I just write about my day, things that happened. If I don't feel like journaling particularly, I will still make time to fill in the day, what happened. Here I was doing great, what I was grateful for during the day. Little memories of the time. And for the monthly cover pages, I write down the books that I read, songs and podcasts I was listening to, I wrote here. Sometimes I do movies that I watched. No, I just did songs and books, but I promise I do movies sometimes. Songs and movies I watched that month, and then books. So that's how I use my Hon. And even if I do no journaling, I journal in here. Okay, 2 to go. This is a writing notebook. This is another chic sparrow. I think it's called Scout. This is beautiful. I got this, actually talk about being 30, I got this for my 30th birthday. And I tied this little ribbon on the back because, I don't know, it looked romantic. I like to write in my spare time, and I like to write in a traveller's notebook setup because I don't really stick to one thing, and it enables you to swap around different projects, writing ideas. You can do fiction versus non-fiction and things like that. I use a lot of these, what are they called? GoodInkpressions notebooks. I'm team cream, and getting gridded cream Tomorrow River paper is not easy. So I love these inserts very much. This insert is from Baumkuchen, and in fact I've had this one a long time. You can see here, ink palette for August 2020, which I think is around the time I got it. As I said, I used to live in America, and before we left, I knew I'd probably not be able to order from Baumkuchen again, so I ordered 5 of these notebooks, and this is the last man standing. So I also ordered this wallet at the same time. It's a Superior Labour Baumkuchen wallet. Oh, I have 2 field notes that I carry around in this notebook. Both of these have super pretty covers. I like to commonplace in field notes. I began these really recently. I began these like 2 or 3 days ago. I do a lot of lists in my commonplacing, things I like to watch and that kind of thing. This one is more like lists, media. This one is more articles, ideas, true crime cases that interest me as well. I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, and I don't know, sometimes I feel a bit funny about the ethics of true crime. I like to be very mindful about what I consume and the content, because I think the ethics are a bit icky to me. You know, how cases get reported and also what cases get reported. And anyway, sometimes I prefer to look into things myself and make notes about them so I don't forget. This book, I keep lists of words, new words, but also as I said, I really like to make lists. Sometimes I make lists of words that evoke a particular emotion, or words connected to the sea, or words that make me think of dark academia or fairy tales. I love to make lists like that, and to add to them over time. And this is another PaperTessDesigns notebook, which I've just been writing in. Like I said, I dip in and out of journals. I pre-decorated this quite a bit. This is another Courtney Diaz little animal. But I don't think the mole is in here. Yeah, I was using this as a journal, and then I dipped out, and I shall dip back in again when the time is right. And then lastly, this is the one I would save if There's a burning building. I've had this is a Mr. Darcy cover, but this kind of setup of B6, ooh, I love it. And I have all these little charms, and look, his spine is so chunky. Yeah, this is the monster. This one is so chunky. I adore it. Oh, here's a little fox. The fox that Courtney Diaz did. And this is a MarigonaSuliArt sticker. This is a notebook from Choosing Keeping, which is a beautiful stationery shop in London, with a list of movies that I want to watch. So yeah. This is my B6 Common Planner from LittleRavenInk. It's a full year. I'm definitely getting one next year. I'm not sure if I'll get B6 or an A5 size. I'm still debating it. Probably a B6, but as I said, I'm still debating. Over time, I've just added lots of stuff to this. These are Erin Ware printables from her Patreon. It's another MarigonaSuliArt sticker, and this is one of Rhiannon's ghosts. Or gloomies, sorry, she calls them gloomies. And that's a Courtney Diaz printable. These are the affirmations I started the year with. I was writing on this page books that I had read, but what ended up happening was I ran out of space. So, it's another gloomy. In the back, I have continued books. I like to list the movies I'm watching, TV shows I watch, podcasts I listen to, games I played, songs I listen to. Yes, I love to make notes and lists like that. And then I track different things in here too. For the monthlies, I was a bit stuck when I first got it, but then I think I got this from Erin Ware. I started tracking the books I read and what days I read them on. I read loads in May, as you can see. So hopefully, I'm still new, so hopefully I'll get better at keeping things in the centre of the screen. Yeah, I like to track the books I read. I've read a lot this month too, because I didn't have as many clients because it's summer holidays. So that's what I use the monthlies for. And then I memory keep in the weeklies, but unlike the cousin, it's more like very private memory keeping. I've only picked out this page because I felt like this was the only one I wanted to show at the moment. I do highlights down the side, but usually it's quite personal, a lot about my mood and how I'm feeling on that particular day. And I journal in the back pages. It's quite private, so like I said, I don't really want, this is Courtney, I don't really want to show that many pages. There's a little mole. This is him, from Courtney Diaz. I love this guy. I would love to just like carry him around with me everywhere. I'm glad we saw him because yeah, he's my favourite Courtney Diaz printable. And that's another MarigonaSuliArt postcard. This is just a plain B6 notebook from LittleRavenInk. I was using this for morning pages, and then I switched into the Stalogy. Once I finish the Stalogy, I'll go back here and hopefully finish out the year in here, although maybe that's too optimistic. I do, like I said, I dip around a bit. This is a sticker from a shop in the UK called Wendy Stevens Art. Like her stickers an awful lot. I thought this one was super funny. And then, last but not least, you'll say another 5-year diary. Why? Yeah, why indeed? This 5-year diary is just for me. So the other 5-year diary is the kind of thing that I could see, you know, giving to somebody to read. My sister's read it, my husband reads it, my dad has read it, but this is, you know, this is just for me, talking about my emotions and my feelings. And it's an undated LittleRavenInk 5 years, so I don't have to fill it out every day. There are also pages in the back which I would like to make more use of. At the moment I haven't. I think once I'm back more fully in this notebook, because the Stalogy has taken me out of it a little bit, once I'm back more fully in this notebook I will be filling out those pages a lot more, hopefully. And that is that. Those are my currently in use journals and journals that I'm hoping to get back into. big thick stacks. I love them. I love to hold my journals and just, there's something very tactile about paper journaling, something very soothing about it. I thought for ages about how to begin this video and I didn't think at all about how to end it. So first of all, I guess I'll say thank you for watching. I hope that it was fun. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them. And if you have time, let me know in the comments about your journals. I love to hear about what other people are using, and are you a one book kind of person? Are you a dip in and out kind of person? What do you like? What do you enjoy? And I'm hoping to make a couple more videos on this channel. Maybe the next one will be about what inspires me in my journaling and what I like to do if I'm in a bit of a slump to get myself out of it. Maybe, no promises. If that's something you'd like to hear, you can also let me know about that. But thank you for watching. Bye!